What's going on YouTube? It's Jay Wilson. Wait a minute. Who is me? Let's find out. What's going on YouTube? It's Jay Wilson, JWill07, Instagram and Twitter, Jay Wilson on Facebook. Who is me? Who is Jay Wilson? And now for the video. This is going to be a raw video. It's going to be about 25 minutes. I've got quite a few questions on here, all ranging from birth to present day. I will read them as follows. This is from Pino. Pino says, tell me how you grew up. All right, Pino, here goes. I grew up starting Christmas Day, early 1980 something in Connecticut. I grew up with a drug addict family. Mom and dad were both alcoholics and drug addicts. And they ended up divorcing when I was in 3rd grade. And I moved with my mom when I was in that process. And then the role reversed after I raised my sister. I couldn't take it anymore in about the 8th grade, so I moved back with my dad. So I jump-started my life again at that period through high school. Tried to find my way, found it in track and field. Was mentored by an absolute great man by the name of Coach Alan Strauss, who was an absolute gem. This guy pushed me to my absolute limits. He taught me that nothing was impossible. Through this time, my dad remarried into a woman that had more kids, who became my brothers and sisters, who to this day I still keep in touch with. I mentor them at the same time. One of those kids joined the Air Force, who I'm extremely proud of today. And it was tough. It was tough growing up. You know, your mom and dad are drug addicts and alcoholics, recovering and relapsing, and you raising your sister and not knowing what's going to happen. One year I missed 86 days of school and still somehow managed. I don't know how I got through school. I really don't. Had a lot of help from friends. Yeah, I really don't. I barely made it to community college. Matter of fact, I had my guidance counselor tell me one time, you'll be lucky if you make it to community college with your immunization records. If I can see that guy right now, I'd slap him with a dead fish. But that's behind me. So that's basically how I was raised. I'm very street. I have a lot of street sense. I hold no grudges. What's in the past is in the past. And, you know, I learned a lot. That taught me what I didn't want to be. And that helped drive me forward. And the people that I met along the way was amazing. And that helped propel me to greater things. So I am thankful for my past, and I was ready for the future. So when my dad remarried, it wasn't the greatest of situations. It was the first time I actually got to live in an actual home, a house that we owned. And when I graduated high school, September 11th happened. I graduated when I was 17. I had to do something. I always had to make an impact. I always had to be a part of something greater than what I was. And that's why I joined the military. The Navy just happened to be the branch that I joined. And that was a question from, let's see here. Chris Delt. Are you a veteran? If so, how long, branch, and job? Well, Chris, Yes, I am a veteran. It was the Navy, as I just said. And my job was Master at Arms. I got hooked as a Navy SEAL, but I didn't get to do that because as a Master at Arms, it doesn't allow you to transfer unless you cross-rate. I'm not going to explain this. If you know, you know. If you don't, I'm sorry. It means I couldn't switch jobs, blase, blase, blase. But I had originally joined to be a SEAL, couldn't do it. But all for the greater good. Got through basic training, very simple, and went to Pearl Harbor after my schooling for Master at Arms, which is a police officer. And I was highly motivated, just straight motivated, always ready to take on the next challenge. In basic training, if you've ever been through the Navy, they call you Chuck. I was called Super Chuck. I was always excelling and motivated and dedicated. And so when I got to Pearl Harbor, I was the same way. Because I didn't have anything else. This is now my clean slate. I was always ready to have a clean slate. It was, when I left my mom, clean slate. Crap, not a clean slate. When I left my dad, clean slate. I didn't have anything else. So now this was my clean slate. Well, getting through the Navy, I tried for K-9. I thought I had it, had the orders cut, and then all of a sudden a weekend went by and it was given to somebody else. Well, this other job presented itself, which was PSD, Protective Service Detachment. I took it. I now became Agent Jason Wilson with the Department of Defense. I took the job. Now I'd already met my wife, then girlfriend. She came to Florida with me by the grace of her father, who is now one of my best friends. He is an absolute mentor, friend, father. He is the best person I've ever met. And he allowed her to come with me. As long as she graduated college, then we would be able to get married. We went to Florida, Tampa, Central Command, MacDill Air Force Base. And this was the start of my ultimate job. This was awesome. Every second of my career I enjoyed. I traveled to over 36 countries, Horn of Africa, Middle East, parts of Europe, and I protected high-ranking dignitaries. The commander of Central Command was my priority, the deputy was my secondary, and it was awesome. And I had some ups and downs there, some close calls, some dangerous parts. I seen some things I didn't want to see, but that was part of the job. And my dad came to live with us towards the end of that, and he passed away. So that was like a bombshell. Just boom. It sucked. So that clean slate I was trying to set up, I don't know. I took it pretty hard. My dad passing away was kind of like a complete shock, because I had dealt with so much crap in the military with home life, mom relapsing and dad relapsing and my sister just doing stupid stuff, and I just couldn't escape it. And then when I was hoping my dad coming to live with my wife and I, still then my fiance, that it would change, but he left. It sucked. There's nothing you can do. When it's their time, it's their time. It sucks. Cherish it. Friends, if your mom and dad is still alive, cherish it. Stay in contact. Regardless of your differences, stay in contact. I ended up taking a 30-day deployment that turned into a year to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. My wife graduated University of South Florida at that time. Came back, took a job with U.S. Pacific Command at the time. Flew back to Hawaii with the wife at that time, and we were in Hawaii. New slate, clean. Mom was still doing stupid stuff. Couldn't couldn't get rid of it. Well, I was the guy there. Met some great friends, had some great times, and I was learning. I was excelling. I was teaching at the same time, but I was the guy they relied on. And my wife started to have some issues with her ovaries, and she had some laparoscopic surgery, which leads me to my next question. This one comes from John Rogers. It says, "Good evening, Jay. Hope all is well. I wanted to submit a question. What is an average day like in the life of Jay Wilson?" I'll get to that one in a second, but he asked me, interests you have, just wondered what... John Rogers, I'm going to get to your question in a second. It's John McClain. He asked me, what's the score with little baby Wilson? Any joy with that as of yet? I just remembered you touching the matter. If one was in one of your previous videos a while back, and now for the final question, I can't remember if you wanted more than one. So just in case you run low. With questions, what's your favorite African cichlid at the moment? Feel free, obviously, to ignore all my questions. Take it easy, Jay. So, John, this is part of your question. My wife had some laparoscopic surgery on her ovaries. Easy done. Something happened. It was a dematoid cyst. Came back, and she had some complications with the second one. And I had to rush her to the emergency room, and I brought her back up to the OB ward, and they brought her into surgery the following morning. And 4 hours later, the head of surgery comes out, who is like this salty type person, and he's like, I don't know what's going on, give us some more time. And at this moment, your rock, the person you absolutely love more than life itself, is, you're picturing laying on a bed in surgery, and you're picturing the worst possible thing that could be happening, and they're telling you they don't know what's going on. So she comes out of surgery, everything's A-okay, she's alive, which is A-okay to me, and they tell you they had to take out half of the reproductive system. So 50% is gone, but 50% is still there, so we can have a kid. Well, we're good, everything fast forwards, I'm traveling again, and then all of a sudden I try to re-enlist. I can't re-enlist. The current administration's downsizing. You're getting the picture. I'm now getting out of the military. My wife is still recovering, and they're pushing us out of housing. Now I'm really starting to get frustrated with the current administration and the military. My staff that I was working with now is not really helping. My friends that I was working with are not helping. My current civilian boss is not helping. Now I'm really frustrated, and I'm working for Apple all of a sudden, and my life is being pulled out from underneath my feet. You see how this sucks? Concussions, headaches, body's going through torment. My health is deteriorating. My wife is starting to come, up and up. And we move into this small apartment, and we've got to do something different. So I moved to Oklahoma, and I'm going to fast forward us real quick. She's here now. We're away from Hawaii. I'm in the reserves, and we want to start having kids. So John McClain, here's your answer. We go to test to see if we can have kids, and we find out that the surgeon that did the surgery nicked the other side of her reproductive system. So the thing that I want more than anything in the entire world more than material possessions, more than monetary possessions, I cannot have. Not only did the military take away my job, but they also took away our ability to have kids. It's the one thing I wanted in my entire life was to be a father. Now I know it's not the only way to be a father. But you have to understand that it just hits you. My wife and I will persevere. We'll overcome. We're Wilsons. We get hit. We roll the punches. We'll get over it. We'll figure out a way. So John McClane, we don't have kids. Right now, we're pushing through. We'll figure it out. Current favorite fish, my midnight. Anything with a blaze is my favorite fish. I will not answer any one of your other questions though. I'm going to keep that personal. Okay? A day in the life of Jay Wilson, John Rogers. Family life, friends, and other hobbies. Really just your typical, video games. I play old retro video games. Typical retro video games. I have Nintendo, Sega, Super Nintendo. I watch movies. I go out with my wife, do the things she likes to do. But ever since I got out of the military, I've been dealing with PTSD, depression, anxiety, and I've been messing with the fish tank. So over the years, you guys have helped me tremendously. You guys are the ones that have helped me cope with this. So that I appreciate. Let me check. I think I had one more question, and I think it was from Aquadacy. Come on. I'm pretty sure I answered Aquadacy's question. I think he was really deep. He wanted just to know about what I did currently and how life was. But my fish tank is what keeps me going. My wife is my rock. She helps me get through the tough times, the stress, the depression. This fish tank went from a fishbowl when I was a kid. Had it for 9 years. I used to microwave my fishbowl, granted without the fish in it, to warm the water. I straight up pull the oxygen out. And then put the fish in there. No oxygen, no heater, no filter, and this fish lived for 9 years. Then I had this small planet type community tank in Hawaii, and then got here, had a 55, 100, 150, and now this 220. I have no plans right now to go bigger than this currently because I have no other place where I'll put a fish tank in this house. That's because of my wife. And I respect what she wants right now. I appreciate you guys tremendously for allowing me to do some of the things I do on this channel. I am who I am on these videos as I am off these videos. I'm a goofball. I am very serious about how passionate I am about this nation. I have met millions of people. I've met millions of people. I've come across millions of people. In over 36 countries, I have come across so many people, so many different nationalities, religions, races, ethnic backgrounds, and it's been amazing. It's been an amazing ride. Subscribers don't mean much to me in terms of numbers. It just means I'm able to connect to more people. The more people I'm able to connect with, the happier I am, because that just means more people I get to be in front of and potentially have an impact on. So I am very thankful for that. I appreciate you guys commenting, liking, subscribing, unsubscribing, disliking my videos, and sharing them. It means so much. Thank you for submitting these questions. I pretty much answered every question. Some were redundant questions, so I didn't mention you. To those that did, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Oh, Adam Pooley asked a question. No, I will not buy your wife a Jeep. I'm sorry. Ms. Pooley, I'm not buying you a Jeep. As far as having a beer and a barbecue down in Melbourne, maybe one day. Me and the wife will come down there and share a beer and a barbecue with you. Thank you so much to Aquaticy, John Rogers, John McLean, Pino, and to everyone else that sent in questions. I greatly appreciate it. Let me see real quick if anybody else that I missed. I pretty much answer every question as it comes in as far as questions about their tank. Chris Delt, thank you. David Duncan. Brad Von Oven. Will. Jesse and Lisa. Here we go. I've got Shoblum. Will you go for a bigger tank setup for your Africans? No, I already answered that question. Will you branch out into different cichlid spectrum? Not currently. Any bigger plans in the future? I'm working on some new rockscape. I'll let you know how that works out. And you're welcome for your videos. Again, everyone, thank you so much. I appreciate it. This video is getting absolutely long. Thank you for dealing with my emotional breakdowns. As always, the pleasure is absolutely all mine.